to the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, or the ASPCA, approximately 3.3 million dogs enter U.S. animal shelters per year. Of those dogs, about 1.6 million are adopted each year. Have you ever wanted to adopt a dog, but you were worried that the adoption process would be complicated or a waste of time? My name is Carrie May, and I felt the same way until I successfully adopted my first dog. Let's talk about how the adoption process for dogs works and why it will help ensure you and your new friends' happiness and safety. There are a couple different forms of paperwork that you may be required to fill out during the adoption process. Shelters such as Paws Chicago ask you to fill out an adoption survey specifying what you are looking for in a pet so they can assist you in finding the perfect match. Your family's activity level and noise level should be taken into account when looking to adopt a dog. Different breeds of dogs have different characteristics. Do you hate dog hair? Maybe consider a poodle or a greyhound rather than a Malamute or a golden retriever. According to the book, Dogs, Domestication, History, Behavior, and Common Health Problems, owners must ensure the dog's physical and psychological needs are satisfied. Therefore, the welfare of the animal depends on humans' knowledge of the species. You should also consider your housing type, as many breeds of dogs require large, fenced-in yards. Next, you will be asked to fill out an application confirming you and your family meet the necessary adoption requirements. Like Paws Chicago, most animal shelters will only consider applicants who are 21 years of age or older. You must confirm that your employment to ensure that you have the time and the necessary resources to provide medical treatment, training, and proper care for your dog. You must be able to verify that you are allowed to have a pet of that breed and size where you live. Some people rent homes and the landlord will give written or verbal approval that they're allowed to have that dog and breed. According to Paws Chicago, in almost every circumstance, dogs must be spayed or neutered before they leave the shelter, and this is often tied into the application fee. Now that you know what paperwork you will be expected to fill out, let's talk about introductions to the family and other pets. All animals are different, and it's crucial to be sure that your new dog is a good fit for your family to avoid returning him or her to the shelter or any other issues. Most animal shelters require that you bring your entire family and any pets that you have at home to meet the dog before you take it home. Dog-to-dog interactions will only be done once all members of the family have met the dog. Keep in mind that dogs have had a life of uncertainty when they end up in a shelter, and it may take them longer to adjust to people and other dogs. You will sign a contract during the adoption process that states that if for any reason your new dog does not work out, you will return it to the shelter. Animal shelters such as Safe Harbor Humane Society would rather take the dog back than risk it ending up in a home that can't properly care for it. This does not necessarily prevent you from adopting another dog in the future. So you filled out the necessary paperwork, found a dog that you, your family, and your pets love, and signed the contract. Now, how do you prepare to take your new friend home? To make the transition as smooth as possible, for you and your dog, you will want to make sure that you have the necessary supplies and food before you bring him or her home. According to the adoption experts at Pet Finder, it's typically a good idea to wait until you select a pet before shopping for supplies. Many items such as collars, harnesses, bowls depend on the dog's size. Many shelters such as Safe Harbor Humane Society will provide you with a couple items to take home when you bring your first dog home, such as the dog's favorite toy or some of its food. You might change your mind at the shelter and decide on a completely different size or breed of dog, or decide not to get a dog altogether, so it's best to wait to purchase most of the supplies. Also, you will want to see what food the shelter was feeding the dog before you take him home, so that you can ease the transition into a new food. Ask about how to do this easy and comfortably for your dog. If you do not have a dog, do research on the different types of dog foods, because there's many out there, and find one that's best for your dog. There are many items that will be immediately necessary for your dog, such as food, water bowls, a collar, a leash, an ID tag, and a brush at home. The experts at Pet Finder suggest purchasing other items that are not necessarily required but highly recommended, such as a microchip, bed, toys, a crate, and additional grooming supplies. From my personal experience, I've learned that certain dogs like certain types of toys. So if your dog is pet friendly, you can take him to an animal store and let him pick out his own toy. Though there's a detailed process for dog adoptions, it is not as complicated as it seems, and most shelters will do anything they can to help you find a new friend. Take it from me, somebody who thought that the dog adoption process was next to impossible. The required paperwork, pet and family introductions, and purchasing of the necessary supplies for your new dog will ensure a smooth and safe transition for both you and your dog.